sorry.
Oh yes, sorry.
Story in the pub.
Story in the pub. Okay, so about 2 years ago, more or less, I was traveling around Spain on my moto. It was a 125. Nobody said I could do it, but I managed to go all the way around Spain. It was amazing. Took a tent in the back, everything. But this one bit, I'd been traveling for about, I don't know, 2 weeks, and I'd stopped at various places. And there's one day I decided to go literally right the way across the middle of Spain from a place called Albarracin down to Cabo de Gata. Now just before you get to Cabo de Gata there's a range of mountains, but anyway, this particular day it took in total 12 hours on the moto with 2 stops, but I knew I could do it. It was really windy, but it was a beautiful day, and I just had it on a mission, you know. I had this mission to get there, so I was going all the way. I had to stop twice for petrol, but the petrol gauge, it doesn't actually tell you exactly where the petrol is. You kind of get to a bottom point, and all of a sudden you go to a reserva at the bottom of the tank. You have to switch, and then you get, the guy told me you get about 15 to 20 kilometers in the reserva, maybe 15. So I'm like, okay. And I'd miscalculated the last part, so I was coming close to this place called Cabo de Gata. It was dark at night. It got dark maybe an hour or 2 earlier, and I'm traveling down, everything on my back, on the backpack. I had the ukulele on there as well, a huge box with my tent in, everything. It was a trip of a lifetime. And I'm getting so close to the place I want to go. You know, you don't want to stop. I'm like, I can make it by 11 o'clock. I message the people, everything on my phone as well. Anyway, so I get to these mountain ranges going towards Almeria. I get to these mountain ranges, I'm going up, and it's beautiful. It's been dark about an hour or so, and then right in the middle of like nowhere, but if you want to be spiritual, everywhere. It's fucking amazing. The fucking petrol goes, but it goes, I'm like, shit, up this top of this mountain range, that I had to turn reserva on. Now that means you have about 15 kilometers more or less of petrol left. So I knew that was roughly what I had, and then I was like in the middle, like shit, okay, it's gone, but I've got something there. So I've got time, I don't know how much. The phone wasn't working, so I couldn't call anyone because I was in the middle of nowhere. And I came across this a sign, pretty much straight away, a sign going to this little town. I was like, well, okay, this is the only chance I've got is to go into this little town. I was on this road. So I turned into this little town, tiny place, thought maybe I'll find a petrol station. Fuck all, nothing, no one. But in the middle of this town, there's me, an English guy in Spain, boom, stops this person, one person in the town with a dog, and I start speaking Spanish to him and asking for a gasolinero, where's the petrol station? And he starts speaking back to me in English, and I'm like, what, are you English? Oh yeah, right, like, English guy in the middle of these mountains, middle of nowhere, small town, and I'm like, is there a gas station? He's like, oh no, so I'm like, fucking shit. So it was a weird situation anyway, and he's like, no, but if you keep going, you go through the mountains, maybe, he said, I've been traveling 5 kilometers since I knew I had almost nothing left. Maybe in about 15 kilometers is a town, near the town of Cabo de Gata, or you can go that way, 15 kilometers. So I'm like, okay, thanks, let's see what happens. So I go back out onto the road, and I mean, it was stunning. So you've got these beautiful mountain range all around, everything I kind of have in my life, if you like, on the back of the moto. Me, not sure when I was going to run out of petrol, but I thought, okay, I've got to think of a system, like maybe go 40 kilometers an hour or something, just enough, because you're on a kind of 2-lane highway, so you're supposed to go quick, but it's up in the mountains, it's a bit dippy, up and down. And I realized, well, what if I turn the engine off when I'm going slightly down the hill? So this was the moment I decided to turn the engine off to conserve the petrol to get me to this town, and it was absolutely amazing. It was stunning because there was no noise of the moto. It was just me. You pull the visor up, there was no lights anywhere. Now obviously I wasn't going to crash because there was no lights, so if a car did come, I would see it from miles away, you know, there was nothing. And so I had these moments which would last between 30 seconds to a minute each time of just sailing. I was just flying all the way down through these mountain ranges with nothing but the sound, the occasional bird, the stars everywhere, no lights, pitch black darkness, but you could just see enough of the road. And then if you came to a point where you needed to drive a bit and go up, switch the engine on, just do another 40 kilometers, get to the top, and then go down all the way again. And because of this little method, because of this moment, there was nothing but me in the middle of these mountain ranges. After traveling for like 10, 11 hours that day, then I made it to this little town, getting towards the coast by Almeria, where there was a petrol station, put the petrol in, and then I rode to the next town, which is Cabo de Gata on the coast, for 4 days in the most beautiful place you've ever seen. There used to be volcanoes on the edge of Spain. And that's my story.
Wow. Amazing.